Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, June 12th, 2022, and we are here at the Rockland Station trailhead of the Allegheny River Trail. And right now we are about 21 or 22 miles downstream from Franklin, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look out through there, you can see the Allegheny River. And today we're going to take a little stroll through the Rockland Tunnel. Many people ask me about navigating these tunnels. So today I'm going to take you through, show you what it's like. I got my headlamp on. Typically I prefer to stumble through here in the dark, but I just want to show you what it's like with and without a light. So I may do half and half, or I may go through without a light and come back with a light. We'll see. That'll be the suspenseful part of this video. So here we go. All right, back there is where we parked. There's a little parking area there for, you could probably squeeze 6-7 cars in there. It does get a little congested down here in the summertime, and people don't know where to park. But one thing I can tell you is if you come down here and encounter a situation where you can't park anywhere, just whatever you do, don't block this road. This is a private road. There are houses back there. There are people that live back there full time. They need to get to their houses, and they need to get emergency vehicles in and out of there. So please do not block this road. Do not travel this road. This road goes to absolutely nowhere. You can see it's pretty good size here, but you get on back in there, it eventually gets narrower and narrower, and eventually it just turns into a single track path. And where does it come out, you may ask? Well, when we get to the other end of the tunnel, the other end of the road is at the tunnel. So you can either go 5/8 of a mile through the tunnel, or you can go 5 miles down that road and end up at the same place. So this is trespassing. This is not trespassing. So please stay off of that road. Don't block it. All right, we're at mile marker 21 at the entrance to the tunnel. And don't quote me on this, but I think once you get down this far, these mile markers are off maybe by a half mile or so. I think when they were set, it somehow got messed up. It's not off by much, but I don't think anybody ever changed it, so I think they're still off a little bit. So just be aware of that. All right, man, we're going in. Are you scared? Don't be scared. All right, let's do this. Now this tunnel is, yeah, you like that reverberation? This tunnel is 5/8 of a mile long, and it does have a curve in it, but the curve is mostly in about the last, I don't know, 400 or 500 feet. So it does get dark in here, but the darkness doesn't last a real long time. I always kind of like the challenge of trying to get through here in the dark without a light. It was a little easier before they put the bike trail through and made it pavement, because, here I'm about to go off the edge, because there was gravel curbs on either side. So when you started stumbling into the gravel curb, you knew you were getting off the middle. It's a little easier to stay in the middle coming back because you can see the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. Whoa, I'm on the edge. Okay, you want me to turn the light on? Okay, here goes. So here you are. Now you can see it's really foggy in here. So here you are riding your bike through here in the dark with a headlight. This is more or less what you're going to see. All right, I'm going to turn the light back off. This isn't as much fun. Whoops. Excuse me for a minute, but this is going to go to strobe for just a very brief second. All right. Whoa, getting off the middle. You probably saw there's also reflectors going down the middle of the pavement. So it's if you hit those with your bike, just be aware. And right now I'm tripping over them. So right now we're going what would be downstream on the river, or, whoa, off the trail. We're about 6 miles from Hemlington. Dang it. All right, I'm gonna turn the light on until I get my bearings. Oh man, I'm way over. Yeah, here, there you can see the reflectors. They're on the edges and in the middle. Of course, you got your graffiti artists. All right, I think I'm good again. I'm going to turn the light back off. There is a bit of a gradual curve going the whole way through here, but like I said, most of the curve is in the end that we were approaching. But when you're trying to walk this thing in the dark, I think it's that curve that messes you up. But it's really easy going back because it's all straight going back, and you can see more, which I'll show you on the way back through. All right, let's see if I can talk more and walk at the same time without breaking my neck. Back in the early 90s when they first took the tracks out of here, I mean, I was familiar with this area before, and it didn't take long for the four-wheelers to take to this place and pack the railroad bed down. So it was like a nice, pretty nice two-lane or one-lane dirt road. So I came down here with my mountain bike, and despite being packed down, it was still pretty rough. So I rode the whole way from Rockland Station to Emlington in the dirt on my mountain bike. Didn't think too much of it. I got home and went in the house and went to greet my wife and give her a kiss, and she's like, "What'd you do to your tooth?" Like, what are you talking about? I go in the bathroom and look in the mirror and hear from riding on this roughness and my teeth knocking together, I had taken a big chip out of one of my teeth. And that still kind of haunts me to this day. It's got a filling in it, but it seems like about every 2 years or so that filling will fall out. So just a little background story there. Okay, I don't know if you can hear the water dripping, but this tunnel leaks really bad down on this end. So once you get down here, you gotta dodge the water. And if you're fortunate enough to come down here in the wintertime, when this is leaking, it makes like a humongous pile of ice down here. I've seen that ice pile like as high as 5-6 feet. Whoa. Now you think I'd do better walking down here because I got more lay, but I'm still falling off the edge. Wow. All right, be aware that all this water is kind of doing a number on the pavement here. Kind of like developing some potholes a little bit. Be aware of that if you're riding your bike. Hey, that water's cold too. All right, man, here we are. I said about that road, right there is what that road becomes by the time it gets down here. Just a path. It took me 13 minutes to walk through there. So some of the original railroad mile markers are still along the trail, mostly up toward Oil City, but you'll find these markers here that were placed about, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago. This one's 102. Some people ask what that is. Well, that is actually river miles from the Golden Triangle or Point State Park in Pittsburgh. So we just walked 5/8 of a mile through that tunnel, but now I can't really confirm this. Well, yes, I can. I should be right, because if you go that way and follow the river, it's 5 miles. So the marker at the other end of that tunnel should be about 107 or something like that. And there's one up around Oil City that's one very close to the parking area that's 129. So that's river miles. It doesn't seem right, because the trail is 20. Well, like I said, those things are off a little, or they were. I don't know. Let's try and figure that out someday. Okay, trail continues on down that way. You're like about 6 miles from Emlington now. About 3 miles from a real nice area called Daughter's Eddy, where Mill Creek hits the Allegheny River. That's a real nice area at Mill Creek. There's a really beautiful stone arch bridge down there, and Mill Creek, the creek itself, is just absolutely gorgeous. Real nice fishing area. Okay, I'm going to shut it off here, and I'll record again on the way back through to show you the difference of heading into the light versus heading into the curve. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're going back in. I'm going to use the light this time until I get to the end of the, where the curve's at, and you can see the other end of the tunnel. See the light at the end of the tunnel. That's a bad leak there. All right, I'm not going to be the purist this time and go right up the middle and dodging these drops. Whoa. Sorry about that. All right, you can see I'm not very far in and I'm already at the end of the curve, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So now I'm going to shut the light back off. Usually it's a little easier to navigate this way because as long as you walk toward the middle of that opening, you don't fall off the edge. Here goes. Okay, excuse the strobe. So this would be what you would see if you were traveling the trail upstream. That would be starting in Emlington and riding toward Franklin. Okay, I'm not going to record this the whole way through like I did the other way, because this is what you're going to see until you get almost to the end. I'll be back in a second. All right, we're in the home stretch now, maybe 500 feet from the end of the tunnel. Now, did I mention this before? I don't think I did, but many of you know that there's another tunnel upstream from this one, which is the direction we're heading, about 6 miles, called the Kennerdale Tunnel. And it is even longer than this one. It's about 3/4 of a mile, which doesn't seem like much compared to 5/8 of this one, but it's noticeable. And also, the Kennerdale Tunnel also has a curve in it. But unlike this one where it's all like a sharp crook at that other end, it's a very gradual curve. So you're in complete darkness for quite a while in the middle. All right, there's your tunnel tour. So we'll walk up the trail a bit and take a look at the river, see how high it is. The creek here, which is Shul Run, it's running pretty good, so the river may be kind of high. Let's go take a look. I am now at a spot along the river looking downstream. For a while, well, let me first say that I am on property that I know the home or the landowners, and I have permission to be here. And right now I see no trespassing signs, or don't see any no camping signs. But if you see those signs, please, despite your curiosity, stay off the property, be respectful of the landowners. Just stay on the trail if you see those signs. I mean, like I said, I've traveled this corridor a lot, and many times you'll see people out in their yards and they can sense your curiosity about what it looks like down toward the riverbank, and they will invite you onto their property to get a better look. People are friendly. Most people are very friendly. Acknowledge them, and sometimes they'll invite you on your property to get a look, but otherwise, stay off. Respect their privacy. Most of the landowners around here are very receptive to this trail because they know without it, this thing would just be a freeway for four-wheelers and off-road vehicles and people like me back in the 90s when the tracks were out and I used to drive this thing. That's how I learned my way around. All right, there she is, the beautiful Allegheny. We're looking upstream. Turn you around here. Try not to do it too quickly, give you vertigo. River's pretty high, but not quite what I expected. So I think when we leave here, I wasn't going to do it, but I think I'll take a stop at Freedom Falls and see what it looks like. On the way down here, it looks like it got hit with wind or something pretty heavy in that last storm. I saw a lot of trees down, so we'll go up and check that out. Okay, back to the Jeep I go. Man, that is pretty. I don't know how people can stay in bed till noon. They miss the best part of the day. Hey, you know what's funny? It's Sunday, and for some reason my alarm, which usually goes off at 5 a.m. during the week for work, for some reason it went off at 4 o'clock this morning. And I checked the settings on the thing. It's not set to go off at 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. I can't explain it, but and a lot of times I am awake at that hour, but this morning I wasn't. And once I usually wake up, I usually don't go back to sleep. So I've been up since 4 a.m. All right, onward ho. Holy smokes, look at this. I noticed this on the way down, but they didn't stop. Almost looks like a microburst came right down through there. Laid these trees right across the road. That looks like a new pole. The other one there is snapped off. What a mess. And I noticed coming down in the creek bed, there seemed to be a lot of trees down too. We'll get down and check her out. Wow. All right, I didn't start taping or recording at the road because I don't want to reveal the location of this place too much, but in this day and age, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out where it's at. A few simple internet searches will more or less bring you here. So we're at Freedom Falls on Shul Run. I'm sure you can hear it running. It seems to be running pretty good. You got water running down the path, which is always a sign that the falls is going to be decent. Let's see, which way do I want to go? Do I want to show you the top view first, or do I want to... Let me get down here through this mud and I'll bring you back. There's the falls right down there. I'm sure you can see. Flowing pretty nice. And you can navigate down over that bank on tree roots, but it's wet. Tree roots are slippery. I don't usually go that way anyway unless I'm feeling super adventurous. I take the old man route, which is on down here a little bit. You go downstream and then you get down over the bank on a path that's quite gradual, and then you go back up the creek to the falls. So let's damn it. All right, I was going to stop, but I want to show you this. This pisses me off. Okay, 2 summers ago, we had a cleanup down here. Me and about 20 friends. We came down here and picked up all the litter. We had a whole trailer full of garbage. Look at this. You brought that in here full. Take it out empty. Come down here to this fire ring. By the way, this is private property and the landowner is pretty cool, but you know, it wouldn't take him much to post this place. It was posted for a while. I'm gonna try real hard not to use expletives here. Don't do this. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong? What is wrong with bringing a garbage bag and taking this stuff with you? Looks like we're gonna have to come down here again and clean this place up. Just, it's uncalled for. And if you're here, you know, don't be carving the place up with your names and trees or junk like this. It's uncalled for. There's no reason for it. You come down here because it's beautiful and then you hog it up. All right, let me get through this mud and all this stuff. All right, we're getting down toward the end of the creek bed, but I got an idea here. Why don't we catch these litter bugs and bring them down here and drag their ass through this stinging nettle. See how they like that. Maybe that would teach them to take their stuff with them. You think? Slippy rocks. Coming up on the iron furnace. Probably the best preserved iron furnace in the county. One of the few that are even left. Get over there and I'll give you a look. There she is. So I've never been real clear on how these things worked, but they used them to make charcoal. And I guess you fed wood into the top and it burned and it like smoldered, I think. And then they shoveled the charcoal out of the bottoms. Out of here. Now if you crawl in there and look up, you can see there's like a smokestack that goes up through. And I've seen various pictures of people who've done that, but you won't get me in there because I've seen snakes in there. Granted, it's a little cool right now for snakes, but you know, you never know. And most of them, there's no real poisonous snakes around here. Most of them are probably milk snakes or rat snakes, but just the same, I don't feel like getting into a nest of snakes. So now, right here by the iron furnace, there's all these stone troughs. And I think water was diverted through there, but I don't understand how they work. I'll tell you who I wish was still around was Penny. Penny could tell me, but Penny, God rest her soul, is gone. She was a wealth of historical information about this area. She just, when we lost Penny, we lost a treasure. All right, man, we're getting close. All right, if you can even hear me, there she is, flowing nice. When it's flowing over there on that right-hand side, that's about as good as it gets. Yeah, when I first started getting into still photography, I was down here, my God, every week, I swear, taking those long exposure shots of this place. It fascinated me. And that novelty's kind of worn off. I haven't been here in a while. But yeah, as a teenager and in my 20s, and like I said, when I got my camera, I was down here a lot, or a whole lot. This was my sanctuary. So I see, I kind of alluded to coming down that hillside, but I don't know, there's a tree down there now. I don't even know if you could do it. I think I'll go back the way I came. I was going to try and go up there, but all right, I'm just going to stand here and record for a bit and shut up. All right, that's her, Freedom Falls. Not hard to find, just do a little research, but I'm not going to tell you how to get here. And if you do get here, please take your garbage with you. All right, I'm going home. I need some more coffee, so 12 miles and I'll be home. But first, I got to get back up that hill.